So now we're going to work on the strength portions of helping our low back feel better. So we did the at home, this is how we're going to create that length. But remember when we were talking about being long and strong, when we're on the pickleball court, again, we need to be able to be flexible, but also use that flexibility by having that strength. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So the first exercise we're going to do this time is going to be for the hamstrings and the glutes on the yoga ball. So Jamie Sue's going to show it to you now, where she's going to lay on the ground and she's going to put her feet, her heels up on the yoga ball. And then from here, I'll hold it at first, but it's not going to go anywhere. She's going to get her glutes up, and now she's going to pull the yoga ball in. So she's basically thinking about bringing her heels to her butt. So she's adjusting her feet now because that's what she's helping her find the squeeze in the hamstring. So in every single exercise we do, or you even do outside of this, part of how we're inspiring you to know what you're doing so that you know when you go to the gym, you're doing the right things. She's adjusting it now even without me telling her, because she knows that she's looking for a squeeze here in the hamstrings and the glutes. And based on where her feet were before, she wasn't feeling that as much, because that's what this is for. It's for getting the strength in the hamstrings in a contracted position and a lengthened position. So we're having her go for a good bit. I want you to do 15 to 20 reps here if you can. If that's too hard for now, totally fine. Let's work up to it. Again, everything that we do, we're just going to do as you're comfortable with, and then just push that boundary just a little bit. So now that she's going to go ahead and do one last one, get one last good squeeze, she's going to come back down. Perfect. Good job. So she can probably feel her hamstrings and her glutes on fire. So now if we were to play pickleball immediately afterwards, when she then was at the kitchen, she would feel a lot stronger here to be able to get up and be mobile with these systems of her body rather than her low back, which is how it's protecting you. So the very next exercise we're going to do, which we can circuit if we want to, meaning do it right afterwards, is we're going to do the single leg glute bridge, or the two-legged version. Fancy word for basically, she's going to start sitting on the yoga ball, she's going to roll forward, and then she's going to get her hips onto the ground. So she's essentially just sitting in front of the yoga ball here. So, so try to get your hips even a little bit closer to the yoga ball here now. So this can also be done on your couch instead of the ball. This is kind of rolling around on her, but she is getting some free core out of it. So she's doing the two-legged exercise version of it now. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to produce all of this movement with her glutes. So she's trying to use her booty to squeeze it up instead. What we first think about is a lot of times you'll get into this and you'll feel it in your quads, you'll feel it in your thighs. That's not what we're looking for. Your quads and your thighs aren't the reason why your low back is hurting. Your low back is hurting when we play pickleball because your glutes are lazy. They're on vacation, they're retired. So by making them do the work that they're meant to do, then it's going to protect your back when you're out there on the court. So she's doing the two-legged version now. I'm going to try to see, now that she's tired, if she can do it with one leg instead. So this is when the yoga ball is a lot harder. So this one is just going to be flat. So just point this foot out straight. Doesn't have to be up in the air. But now just see if you can do it with one. There you go. On a yoga ball with one, this is very, very hard. I'm holding the yoga ball a little bit for you. No worries. If you do this on a couch, then you can do this one-legged for sure. I love it one-legged for the extra balance. On a yoga ball, it can just be a little bit too challenging. What you're looking for in these is anywhere between 15 to 20 repetitions of each. Totally up to you. You can increase your ability to do it, especially because we're not trying to use weight here. Because when we play pickleball, we don't have external weight. We just have ourselves. So if you do that on the couch, you do it on the ball, completely fine. Just search for amount of reps that really get you to not be able to do maybe between 2 to 5 more with good form, which is, I think, right about where we were. Yeah. Exactly. The next exercise now is going to be a weighted good morning. Fancy terms. Hey, I'm just giving you the real ones. But we're going to sit on the yoga ball now, and then we're going to practice leaning forward. So she's going to, take a wide stance here, planting her feet firmly on the ground. I'm actually going to give her these weights, and then she's going to, just lean forward. So these weights are actually helping her come forward. But the big thing here is she's making sure that her back is nice and straight. So even a little bit more, pinch these shoulder blades together. So kind of pinch my fingers. There you go. Not overly so, but exactly. So that's making sure that she has that good posture the whole time. So she could actually get even lower if the ground wasn't there, if she rounded her back, but that would be cheating. That's not what we're looking for. Remember, when we're playing pickleball, that doesn't count. That is not a good way to get a ball out of the air. That's a good way to get smacked with the next one. She's practicing using the flexibility of her hips. That's why her feet are out wide, feet firmly planted on the ground. And even as she's doing this, she can actually explore her big toes. So remember when we stretched our big toes at home and we used them for the power that they're looking for? You can even use them here. She'll feel more grounded if she starts to use her big toe here instead. I just saw that happen. Yeah. You probably felt that all the way up to your hip. And that hip flexibility will then help her back stay protected too. So same thing here, because we're using light weights, it means we can have higher repetitions. When we do anything for muscle building or adaptations, there's actually no secret sauce in terms of how many repetitions to do. The secret sauce, if you will, is we need to get between 2 to 3 reps of failure with good form. And obviously, as we're learning something new, I tend to stay a little bit further away from that for safety wise, especially because our main goals are pickleball performance and a healthy back. So I know she's done a lot of repetitions, but they're probably feeling pretty darn good here.
Yeah,
yep.
I like this.
Absolutely. So the very next one, she's done with this one, is we're going to focus on the internal aspects of the hip, which is going to protect us in all of our lateral movement in pickleball as well. So this one she's going to face this way. She's going to put her right foot onto the chair, and then she's going to use this weight to help her get lower. So at this point, exactly. So she's now asking for a lot of flexibility from this part of the hip that's up here. So it's up to her how she wants to place the foot there. It's kind of floating around a bit, but it is keeping her safe. That's totally fine. I'm glad that it moves, because when we move on the ground, our feet do move. Yeah. Just a lot of times when we think exercises, there's so much of a rigid form that I saw it this way where the foot didn't move at all. I must need to do it too. That's not the case. Everybody's body's a little different. And what we're looking for here is that same back position. She's nice and strong this way. She's not rounded. And now she's getting a lot of practice with her left knee is stacking right over her left toe. And so it's keeping her nice and stable. This leg is the one that's doing the extra work, because it's having to help get her back up by essentially pulling down into the chair to get her up at the same time. How's it feel?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Perfect. So same thing here. 12 to 15 repetitions would be a good way to start. At this point, you've done 1 round of each. We did the hamstring curls and the yoga ball. We got up onto it, and then we did the glute bridges in front of it. Then we did the weighted good mornings, and then we did these. If you could do that 3 or 4 times throughout the day, that would be amazing. Even if you don't have time to do all of them in one go, as long as we do each one on each side, you can spread these out across the day, and it'll help you stay very active. You can even use it as a warm-up for pickleball, and you'll feel really good as a result. The back will be healthy, the back will be strong.
Yeah.
Good to go?
Super good.
Awesome.